I forgot to start the game. So, okay, here we are. Oh. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, we reached the mountaintops of the Giants, at least. Giants grave post, I mean. Zoomberg just made a Godwyn video worth checking out. Yeah, I think I already looked into that one. I haven't watched all of it, but I just clipped a little bit through it. And yeah, it's okay, I guess. Have you watched it completely? What's your opinion on it? Hey, by the way, Radigans. As I said, I just looked into that for a minute or so. Just clipped through some stuff and looked at the chapters. Is she making points that support my theory? I was looking at the chapters and I haven't watched much of the video because just by the name of the chapters, it looked more like that she's just rephrasing what was already discussed in the community. And it didn't sound like that she would state that we might have been resurrected as Godwyn. So that's why I haven't really looked more into it and haven't watched a lot of it. But what did you say that might be possible, or that would maybe support my theory? I'm just curious if there's anything interesting that she might have said. Oh, that's an arm. Okay. Or is it a leg? No, it's an arm. Hmm. Bro, give me a break. Hey gamer, you just became Elden Lord. Oh, congratulations. First time Elden Lord. Is it your first time becoming Elden Lord? Because that is definitely a special event. The first playthrough is amazing, I would say. Your take on the Land of Shadows being cut off or excised from lands between reminded me of how you described it. Excised. Wait. Game of the decade? Probably best game of all time. But yeah, I know what you mean. And my take is that we haven't even understood how much depth this game actually has. I think it's even more a masterpiece than the community realizes. Or most than most realize. I mean, of course, most players just pay attention to the gameplay, and of course that's important. But when it comes to the whole design of levels on them, the level design, the map design, the character design, and the lore in regard to this as well, then I think it's something very special and cannot really compare to any other game, or yeah, because I don't know, I don't think there's any other game studio working like they do. I think the whole approach might be completely different, and that's why their games seem so special. Wait, what? From where do they all come from? Attention to detail doesn't run way deeper than it is apparent at first. Yeah, definitely. Don't worry, it's okay. I can choose what I pay attention to. And when I die, it's not your fault. It's sometimes really a talent playing and at the same time having a conversation with a chat. Gamer, have you already played the DLC as well? Oh yeah, the beast repellent torch. Oh yeah. Oh, that's actually true. Maybe I should have gone for, I don't know. Should I use the torch? You know, sometimes it's, especially because this is more of a lore run, it's sometimes also interesting to see what they might drop or how they fight. But you're right, it would make it way easier if I just used the beast repellent torch. So, why is he jumping down there? Da 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 da. Yeah, I probably should use the torch. So we got some items over here. Let's see. 2 warming stone. Can you shut the fuck up? Wait. Doesn't... I don't... It seems like it does not work, actually. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on! Another one? That's a joke. Leave me alone. Oh, Jesus. What's he doing? What's wrong with their AI and why are they not? I mean, they're staggered, but they're not falling down. Bruh. Okay. I think it's possible to effectively summarize your Godwyn theory in like 5 sentences. But Lamentus Go, aren't you familiar with my theory? Well, I just present on my stream. Like 5 sentences? Bro, I have to think about that. That's not easy. Beast Blood 1. Wait, but the Beast Blood 1 was on one of those corpses, right? I think the Godwyn Run 5 was a drop of those birds. Fan daggers 5 again, for fuck's sake. These fan daggers appear so often. It's strange. And you're absolutely right, Blade. I mean, they are very similar to those crows and hounds from Kaled. Hey, Florum. My take is right now that these lands might have been influenced by rot, probably. And that's why we find those crows and hounds here. At least that's my take. For now. I'm not sure if I looked into everything. Oh yeah, I was here. Why is this hound sleeping under a giant? Sounds already like a pretty good summarize. I don't know if I would describe the Elden Beast as some kind of parasite, but I think it works. Fits in a way. Oh. It's such a great, huge area. I'm never really sure if I missed any items. Oh. Sure. Oh. Fucking rivers of blood. With the last thing, I don't really agree. I'm sorry. Because I definitely an L2 player, yeah. Because I don't really think if we have some godly powers after our resurrection, there might be some details, more little details, I think, that make a difference. But I think it has to do with the flaws of Crimson and Cerulean Tears. Maybe also with Godwyn's Soul, but I'm not sure about that. And when it comes to the Guidance of Grace, I actually think the Guidance of Grace is more connected to the Elden Ring, and therefore the Elden Beast and the Greater Will. So I see the Guidance of Grace more as something that manipulates us. I think I described it in the first chapter of the Godfrey series already. I know that I mentioned, I think in one of the Godwyn chapters, I was assuming that it might be Marika, but I had to correct myself there. Because it makes way more sense to me, at least, that it's related to the Greater Will. Because light in general, and especially the influence of the Greater Will, seems to be associated with light. I think after the shattering, Marika, like the Marika Renna, that is pro Godwyn, I don't think that she's present anymore. At least, I mean, I think her soul is kind of suppressed by the Elden Ring, by the Elden Beast. So there's nothing where I would say that she's active anymore. And the guidance is, in my opinion, something that originates from the Elden Ring. Or the guidance of grace that we see in our journey, at least. You might want to watch the first Godfrey chapter again. I don't know. There I've described it in more detail. Why would the Elden Beast be guiding his own assassin? Because its main goal is restoring the Elden Ring, and he needs someone to do this. And he also might need a new vessel. So, and with the first words that we hear to become Elden Lord, we are already manipulated in doing so. I think it works. It works similar to how it works in Dark Souls, for example, where we got the mission to rekindle the first flame, which is not works not exactly the same, but we are in some way we are also manipulated, right, by Gwyn, I think. I completely understand that it sounds a lot like America might be the one which is providing the guidance of grace, but it sounds more like that it's the Elden Ring. There are some dialogue lines where it's even directly mentioned that it's the Elden Ring. I think I've even saw an interview or somewhere else where they mentioned the Elden Ring, or maybe it was a YouTube trailer or description. Yeah, exactly. I would say so. It's similar. Could be compared to Rykard. Everyone got the same. I mean, that's what is happening, right? Every Tarnish got the same task: become Elden Lord. And in the end, they're even led into confrontation. We are just being used. Yeah, and the strongest has the honor in to become the new vessel for the Elden Beast and the Elden Ring. And that's why the Age of the Stars is also the, in my opinion, the good ending, right? Because oh come on, I can't chat. Yeah, I think the Elden Beast, whatever the Elden Beast is, I think you could describe it more as an anomaly, probably, that comes into existence when specific circumstances are present. I think it has to do with souls, actually. I think when enough souls are getting grafted or getting bound to a being, there's some kind of, you could describe it as a critical mass, and that's at a critical mass of souls. I think some kind of divine being like the Elden Beast comes into existence. I think this is how it works, and I think this is how Radagon tried to become a god as well. Is that the Wakizashi that he's using? I imagine it way shorter. Yeah, exactly. I think, I mean, there is some kind of resemblance between the Astels and the Elden Beast, right? But I think the Astels also came into existence by merging souls or sorcerers and their primal glintstones in some way. I think this is how it works, and it is connected to the mass graven masses. I think mass graven ritual. So, but it's a good question. So what is the difference between the Astels and the Elden Beast then? I don't know. Maybe it's the gold. It's the grace, maybe, or the fact that it has Marika's soul. I don't know. I'm not sure. Weapon of Okina, swordsman of the land of reeds, a cursed weapon that has felled countless men. Was there the Elden Ring before the Elden Beast? No, I would think it's the other way around. I mean, it said the Elden Beast became the Elden Ring. I mean, it's not directly stated like that. It's more, it says, the greater will sent a golden beast, a golden star bearing a beast to the lands between, which later became the Elden Ring. This is how it's worded. There's still room for interpretation, though, in my opinion. Like, always. Oh, the skill is called Corpse Piler. I didn't know that. And it's an interesting description that it says, and so Okina renounced it all and rose to a higher plane. What does repose mean? Isn't it, I think in German it's something like calmness or silence or introspective, I don't know. How would you describe the term repose? Does it also have multiple meanings? And I definitely agree, Redagons. They are definitely playing with literal and metaphorical meanings. That's why I was asking. I was just wondering what nuances it has in English. Okay, looks like it's nothing anymore. At least in this part. But he is but also to reposition or layout. Reposition? Layout intentionally. So something like sorting your own perspective, or yeah, I definitely think that the story that I try to extract from all these, from all the game's content, I think it sounds incredibly like a good story, but I don't think that the movie will be about it, and I don't think that there will be anything in the movie that might reveal something bigger. I recommend to expect not much. It might be a good movie. It probably will be a good story, but I don't think that there will be big revelations. The only thing that I hope for is that there might be some references or allusions once again that might be more subtle. That's what I'm hoping for and what I will look out for. Because I think that's the only thing that realistically will be in this movie that might help us in regard to the lore. But I don't think there will be anything, anything told straightforward. I don't think so. Why can't they just leave me alone? Okay. we got smoldering corpse with the guilty hood staring at the forge of the giants. Oh, it's a troll's roar. And the other thing is, imagine Elden Ring is supposed to be some kind of puzzle in regard to the lore. Any revelation would like take away the mystery from the game, and there wouldn't be the need to explore the game even more. Would just vanish. Although it would be cool, of course, to know more about Elden Ring. But hey, come on! I think we are on a good way on this channel. So the only thing that I would wish is to have more on board with this theory, or more people discussing the game's content with the same perspective, at least. Whoop. I hate to explore this area. It feels like I could miss something pretty easily. Is it, did it spawn any? Oh yeah, there it is. No, what is it? Oh, it's back there again. Oh my god. It's where? Okay, some of missing stone 8. That's a big one. As a completionist, this area is just awful. Yeah, they were too long. I had to cut them again. I usually wait always too long because I'm just too lazy to go to the get a haircut. But thanks, man. And I have to say that the costs for a haircut are yeah, they have increased a lot. A year ago, I had a friend that was cutting my hair from time to time. But he's not living in the same town anymore. Yeah, me too. I go as early as possible too. This is such a strange asset. For some reason, he has this kind of campfire or so there. Oh, 2. The pain. Strange. It's even possible to summon a spirit here. Why? I just realized that there's a spirit, like there's one of those spirit monuments which allows you to summon a spirit. I've never noticed that you can summon one here. Makes no sense to me. I mean, there's nothing more than those trolls. What's thing? Ah, shit. Between the Zamor heroes and the Beastmen of Pharaoh Mazula? I don't know. And it's a hard one. Especially those Zamor knights. Or heroes. So many trolls. Imagine there's some kind of riddle here, or something happens if you summon a specific spirit summon. A very specific one. These are the things that I'm dreaming of. I don't know. What if somewhere in the game something is happening if you do just some random stuff? from would be nice. I mean, we don't know if there's not actually some of those secrets still left in the game. I mean, it doesn't need to be much that happens. Okay, there is an item. Okay. The night rain experience. I just want to chill and look at item placement. Hell, that came out of nowhere. Oh my goodness. What do you guys think? When should I go and play in the DLC? I probably go. I think I will go to the DLC to the Lands of Shadow before entering Farm Azula. I might do Consecrated Snowfield. I think I'll do Mountaintops of the Giants, Consecrated Snowfield, and leave out Harlech Tree and Farm Azula, and then I'll probably go into the DLC. That's what I'm thinking of right now. Godwyn Run 10. Oh, sure. Yeah, this is one of the spots that felt always a bit suspicious, because it's there should be nascent butterflies. Yeah, here are nascent butterflies, and I think there are like three something Arteria leaves. No, Grace Mimic. Okay. 3 Grace Mimic. Oh, what do we have here? Another Golden Rune 10. Sure. Whoop. That's a big hand. Are there items over here? Yeah, there are definitely some things that are really interesting in the DLC. But most of the time it feels more like that they are filling gaps. Because I mean, Future Sense is incredibly similar to like silver tier stuff, right? At least from appearance. Oh, okay. I thought the tree might block them. Oh, they don't. Items, items, items. Crimson Wall bubble tea. Hey, gaming with Bree. I'm doing fine. It's just that I'm currently doing another lore run because it helps me if I do from time to time when enough time has passed and my perspective on things have shifted a bit. And it's kind of helpful to do another lore run where I just really just play the game and look at things with more time. Because just looking at the wiki isn't really enough. But I really appreciate and I'm glad that you are checking if there are any new posts. I'm a bit sorry that there is nothing much lately going on this channel. But yeah, I'm aiming for quality content, or at least for content that I'm satisfied with, and therefore I sometimes take the time to dive deeper into some of my interpretations first before I'm starting to make videos about them. Because as you know, in the end, everything should build up as good as possible on each other, I mean. But don't worry, there's more than enough that I have in mind. It's just that I want to dive a bit deeper before I structure my thoughts again, or before I continue. Clearing out some details, maybe. That's what I'm aiming for right now. To clearing out as many details as possible. For example, there are details in regard to Anastasia that I haven't noticed in my latest chapter. And every time I'm noticing something that I haven't noticed before, it's like, oh man. I wish I had already included that in the latest chapter. But it's fine. I mean, the perspective hasn't changed that much. It's just that more details become recognizable from time to time. The story that I have told throughout my videos is for the most part still the story that I have in mind. And you know, I want to give arguments as well for my interpretations, and that's also something that I'm looking out for. You would trade Duskbloods for another video? That's kind of insane. I'm still not sure if I'm going to buy Duskbloods and the Switch 2, honestly. I don't know if it's worth. I mean, it's definitely worth. It's a FromSoft game, but it's a whole console. I mean, the game is probably great. It's just, yeah. Come on. The Switch 2 just for the Duskbloods? I don't know. I'm thinking about it actually, but 3 invigorating white cured meat. 3. I got a PS5 just for Demon Souls. I mean, you can play Bloodborne as well, Don Quixote. Don Quixote. Is it pronounced Don Quixote or Don Quixote? I haven't played Bloodborne yet. Though I know that there is an emulator for it somewhere. Bruh. What game should you play after Elden Ring? Have you played the DLC game, Abi? The Elden Ring DLC, I mean. No, you didn't? Yeah, then I would go for the DLC. If you liked Elden Ring, of course. Pokemon Legends Z2A. I've never seen that attack before, I think. I want to see that again. I don't know. I don't think it's anything special. But when I'm thinking about it, sometimes I wish I could be like 8 or 10 years old again and just playing Pokemon. And Zelda, of course. I really like the comparison that From Software games are like Zelda for adults. I've never played Pokemon X. I don't know how good that one is. Florum, you know, oh, there's an item. Yeah. Sekiro is insane. So there's an item over here. Two. I knew one of those Candy Crush women, or one of those who spend like thousands of euros into some strange smartphone competitive trash game. When I was doing therapy, there have been some of those, one of those old ladies. Mikela will play Osu, I think. I think it's probably an Osu player. Mikela on Tinder? I don't know. Imagine Mikela on Tinder. Oh god. I don't think that Marika and Radigan were always one. I think they're actually separate beings. But they are in some way in the same body. Oh, another item. They're so spread over here. I have to say, I don't think that it works. That the relationship between Marika and Radigan is actually the same of Centrina, Mikela, or even I don't even think that it's like the twin brothers D. I don't think that in both cases it's about the relationship between Marika and Radigan. I think the relationship between Marika and Radigan is more like what comes the closest would probably the relationship between Godwyn and 46, I think. It has to do that I think Radigan at some point killed Renna and took in her soul. I think that's what happened. That's my take on that part. I think the relationship between, or the concept of Miquella and Santrina in the DLC is mirroring the relationship between the Elden Ring and Marika as the Glowmite Queen, or as Marika Renna. And the twin brothers, for example, I already mentioned that in the videos. It's about us as Godwyn and our former self. Oops. That's an interesting one over here. Why? It's more looking at the Zamor ruins, right? That makes it even more strange. Oh, it's just a Summer Smithing Stone. Heaven. It's such a beautiful view. Come on, there has to be an item pointing towards this passage. Hmm. What do you think was the purpose of passing Destined Death to Mana, as it was what destroys the Earth Tree Thorns? Yeah, yeah, it is, exactly. And I think I think it's exactly what happened. I think Marika as the woman in the Black Hood, probably the Glow My Queen, was in power of Destined Death in some way. And I actually think that the purple eye comes from Marika as the woman in the Black Hood and the Glow My Queen, and is linked to Melina yeah, having some kind of power over Destined Death. And I think it's also related to the flames with which she's burning the Earth Tree down. Although it's the flame of the flame of ruin, I think it's in some way connected to the black flame as well. I'm get. To me, right now, it seems like, yeah, that the purple eye is one of the Glowmite Queen's eyes that were passed down to Melina. Because it would fit incredibly well with the parallel that we have with the Duchess in Night Rain. Because, so in the base game, Melina got the purple eye. And in Night Rain, it is the Duchess who got the pocket watch with a purple gemstone in it. And it's also described as having dark powers in it, which is something that makes it possible to oppose the Knight in some way, I think. And yeah, interpret this as a parallel. It would mean that the power of the purple eye that Melina got is something that allows them to fight back against the Golden Order. So I think the power that Melina has over the Flame of Ruin is linked to the purple eye, and the pocket watch with the purple gemstone is passed down from her whatever it's called, her mentor. So I think it's probably, according to the parallel, it would be Marika, the woman in the Black Hood. You know, the big reveal in the DLC when Millennia says something in Radahn's ear. Everyone I've seen says that she was there to move forward Mikkel's plan to make Radahn consort. I interpreted as sarcasm that she is there to kill Radahn because she found out about Mikkel's love for him and wants to kill him. What's your take? Oof, I still don't know. I have to say, I still don't know. I think there's probably some kind of double meaning behind it. That's my suspicion, at least. Thank you, Florum. Bye-bye. Have a good day, bro. Mikela awaits thee, a promised consort. This is such a strange room. If we could read the book with the books, yeah. In Baldur's Gate 3, you got more than enough books to read. This is the most ancient of the Fire Monk's incantations. I have to admit, I haven't played more than Act 1. I've never made it to Act 2. I started several times with friends, but we never made it to Act 2. Oh, or at least yeah, I didn't make it. There has to be something to it, to this incantation. I just don't understand what. It's this modern corpse coated with a falchion. And so many bookshelves over here, so... The flame did not protect them, yeah. And we got a shattered table in here. I have a strong suspicion that it's about Radagon, but I can't really tell. They placed a shattered table in here for some strange reason without and were these supposed to be like banks? Is it called banks in English? It's interesting. In Night Rain, in the Night Rain tutorial, they did the same thing. There's a room that is probably referencing Radagon. They placed like 2 shattered tables in it. To sit facing the corner as opposed to resting against the wall. I don't think it's strange. I think it's supposed to look like that he's looking at the bookshelves and at the books. And in most cases, I think it's benches, yeah. And in most cases, it's probably, or at least I would interpret these things like that. Whenever it is about books, it's probably about someone planning something or someone having a plan for something. And especially when a corpse is facing these books or bookshelves, it's probably about someone who has a plan for something or so. It's the same with the woman in the black hood statue that is holding a book, for example. Because the catacombs which contains these statues is probably about America's plan of the Night of the Black Knives. It could be that the Shattered Table is referencing the Shattered Elden Ring. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. But I don't really make much sense out of it right now. Oh. The theme of this catacombs is quite strange. I got the 2-finger banners. What's even more strange is they designed the room down there that contains nothing. And there's nothing in this room down there. But what's in here are 4 chairs. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 2 imps. Yeah, I don't know. Chairs. Once again it's chairs. You know, it's because of this. I just saw too much chairs in rooms that are just unnecessary. So it has to be something to do with chairs. A short question. Does giant conquering mean like someone who conquered one giant, or does giant conquering sound like someone conquered several giants? Oh. I'm just interested in the meaning of the, you know, how it sounds. Could it mean one giant, or could it mean several giants, or is it open up to interpretation? Oh. I'm just interested in how it sounds, you know? Okay, what do we have here? Godwyn Run 11. Okay. Freezing Grease. So many questions. Sneaky. Too many questions. Oh, I have to activate this. I'm playing with the idea that this... So... I thought that this catacomb might be You know, I usually try to recognize a specific theme that there might be going on in catacombs. Like in the Orisa hero's grave, it was, for example, the Earth Tree and the Earth Tree, more or less. And there were Earth Tree banners inside of it with sun rays. And the Sainted Hero's grave got banners of Godfrey, for example, which is themed around Godfrey. Then we got the Galmi Hero's grave, which is for the most part themed around Radagon, in my opinion. But this is a bit more difficult, and lately I think it contains some kind of double meaning. That is actually about, maybe it's about Marika shattering Radagon, and that's why it's called Giant Conquering Hero's Grave, you know? Maybe there's some kind of allusion hidden in the name. Because I think some of these things in here might be related to Marika Rena. And eventually to our resurrection as well. Because I said in one of the other streams that the passage, the slim passage, is probably symbolic for our resurrection and our dangerous path and slim chances that we had. This is symbolic for our resurrection. And there are some references, like the catacombs, which contain a reference to it, or the briars of punishment, and so on. And it would fit really well that maybe this one here, the Giant Conquering Hero's grave, contains references to Marika shattering the Elden Ring, and in some way also making it possible for us to resurrect in the end. I mean, although it's on a different level vertically, and we explore this area later on, it's still in the exact it would be in the right, it's in the right place, you know, in the map. Even though it's vertically on a higher level, it's exactly where the references to our resurrection start. And now I am fully convinced. Jesus, I haven't noticed that one. Okay, I am fully convinced now. Okay, this catacomb is themed around Marika shattering the Elden Ring and our resurrection. And it has to do with something that is incredibly rare. It has to do with this sword. I was pretty sure that I had a list with them. Cranial vessel candlestand. Candlestand used in worship of Birak, the most hallowed monk prelate of the Giant's Flame. Why the sword? Because it's so you might know that these smoldering corpses are coated with weapons sometimes, and this sword that they used here to coat this smoldering corpse is incredibly rare, and I actually thought that it appears only once, and I didn't know that it appears actually twice. So there's one other smoldering corpse in the game that holds this sword, and it's in the Tombsword Catacombs, and I'm already pretty sure that the Tombsword Catacombs are themed around our resurrection. It's the catacomb in which you find how is she called? The Mausoleum Knight, Luthel, for example, and the smoldering corpse with this sword is placed at the entrance in front of a statue of the woman in the black hood, so in front of Marika, with the recipe for Rancor pots. And I interpret it this way because, so the Tombsword Catacombs are themed around our resurrection. You got, for example, the Mausoleum Knight Luthel, which is referencing containing allusions to our resurrection, and the Rancor pot kind of fits because we are in some way Marika's wraithful spirit that she's summoning, you know? Because that's how I imagined the story until now. That we are supposed to vengeance, for revenge all the others that have died in the past in some way. So I think in that way, the Rancor pot fits incredibly well too, as a reference to our resurrection, and that we are supposed to revenge her and the others. And the Rancor call is also used for this in Stormvale Castle, for example, because the Rancor call is something that Necromancer Garrus rediscovers, and I interpret it as Radigan, who discovers what happened on the Night of the Black Knives. So Necromancer Garrus rediscovering the Rancor call is like Radigan discovering what actually happened on the Night of the Black Knives. And there too, the Rancor call seemed to be a little reference to Marika summoning or trying to summoning us as someone who, after our resurrection, revenges the Tarnished. So for one, the smoldering corpse with this sword is already, in my mind at least, connected to our resurrection. So, and now I'm getting convinced that it might be the same with this place, in this place here. And that's why I'm now assuming that it's also referencing our resurrection in this place here, and with this item that we found here. And it was the Cranial Vessel Candlestand. It tells about Birak, the most hallowed monk, prelate of the Giant's Flame. I think it's a reference to us as Godwyn. Concerned over the lazy arrogance with which the monks treated the flame, Birak severed his own head as a lesson to the others, intending it to be used as a candlestand. And I think, so it's about someone who beheaded themselves. And his soul still resides in the candlestand. And there are some themes that fit really well, because not only is his soul still living, it's also the candlestand or candle tree is usually a theme that we associate with a prophecy. His faith yet smolders from within the cranial vessel. And it still smolders in the vessel. So, although it's incredibly vague, I'm convinced now that this is actually some reference or something that contains allusions to Godwyn, who was in of the Knight of Black Knives and was in on his own death in some way, who is about to opposing Radagon, referenced by the other monks that are in some way arrogant. And if you want to know what kind of sword this actually is, it's actually a Sunrealm sword. It's not an obtainable sword. It's used by the Sunrealm soldiers, by the undead Sunrealm soldiers. That was something why I was really intrigued by it. Yeah, and someone pointed out that it's the acid of the Sunrealm sword that the undead soldiers are using. So if this one is actually referring to Godwyn being part in his own death, being then it kind of makes sense that we found a freezing grease right in front of it. The freezing grease would be a reference to Marika. So over there, it is, as it seems, a reference to Godwyn being part of the Knight of the Black Knives, beheading themselves and so on, like killing himself. And the freezing grease that we just found over here is probably just a little reference to Marika or Marika Rena, which is associated with the ice theme. But it's kind of interesting because, as I said earlier, the first room looked more like it is referencing Radagon. Oh yeah. Why they had to flee? Probably because the Golden Order didn't want Godwyn to die. I think that Godwyn was probably in some way controlled. I don't know how it actually works. I think this is one of those questions that it's like, why didn't Frodo just flew with some eagles to the to Mount Doom and threw the ring in it? I mean, it's a good question, but I don't know. That's how I imagine it. Might not be the perfect answer, but to not want to do the food distant death and transfer the old. I mean, he didn't kill himself in the end. It needed the black knives and Melina, probably. I just think it probably has to do with the influence of the Greater Will or the Elden Ring. Or it was about, oh no, or they did it like it. They did it because they wanted to deceive Redigan. That he actually died. Yeah, it's probably that. This is also what how it is described in Night Rain. In Night Rain are parallels where it is about deceiving a god. Or something like this, at least. Seduced? Probably Godfrey and the Tarnished. Can you backstab him? Backstab him? Nope. Giant's seal. Yeah, the sign on the chest is interesting. It looks a little bit like the eclipse. It looks a little bit like a key as well. Don't you think? I don't. Like a mix of the eclipse and the key. No idea why it should depict a key though. Oh, there's the lever. Oh yeah. The statue over there, right? Yeah. These are almost all heroes' grave. First. What do you mean by it? If you equip the scavenger sword, you can see the full version of it? What do you mean? Is there something on the scavenger sword? Oh, fucking hell! Don Quixote, I never noticed that. Bro, that's fucking insane. Wait, that's a woman holding a baby, right? Wait, what the fucking hell? I can't see it clearly. That's insane. Yeah, I have to start the game offline to make the free cam work. Blocking doesn't work. I think I will have to hit up one of my data miner friends who can just show me textures. Bro, that's so fucking cool. I knew that there are sometimes details hidden on weapons that you usually don't recognize or even realize that they're there. Jesus. I know that it's found on Mount Galmir. I'm wondering if it's somehow related to the virgin abductor virgins and what they depict. Any curved sword, notched like shark's teeth, a weapon carried by corpse pillagers who prowl the sides of old battles. The blade is tacky with blood and covered in hefty nicks, making it totally uneven. Life can be sinister indeed. Yeah, I'm 100% sure that it's about Radigan. That you know what? It's probably the same reference that we have with the statue behind Mesmer. It's probably a reference to Radigan, and in the same way Mesmer and his statue behind him is referencing. I wouldn't say that it's a reference to us as Marika's child. It's probably about Radigan. There are already some things that would fit pretty well with Radigan, I think. I don't know. I don't think that Marika disliked Radigan. I think it's the same relationship between the recluse and her infant. Okay. I think now I owe you something. And I thought I've checked every weapon for those things, for these details. That's an insane take. Incredibly good catch, Donkey Shot. Wait, where's the... Oh... Shit. Yeah, I mean, think of this. I mean, if they hide these kind of details, we can assume that these are not arbitrarily designed. There's so much detail and item placement and the design of some things. You know what? If you guys are curious, I might share some I got some other details in mind that, and especially one that I haven't shared with anyone yet, because it's kind of it's or at least one detail that I haven't shared yet with anyone, because I think it's a huge detail. Again, that's fresh cut. It's a really fresh cut, right? I usually don't like fresh cuts. But it had to be done. Okay, what I wanted to say, now that Donkey Shot, yeah, made such a good observation, I think I might have to share something that I haven't talked about yet. Hey, Void. Okay, another detail that it's nothing that new, I think, but I once saw a Reddit post that pointed out, for example, so this is nothing new. It might not be that important, though I think it's important, but Another really, really interesting detail, for example, is that Renala is usually wearing a ring. You can see it, for example. I don't know if you can see it in the phase 2 of her boss fight. But there is a ring on Renala's robe when you wear it, when you buy it from the Finger Crone. But when you look at Renala in her current state, she's missing the ring. I thought this is a really intriguing detail, for example. I'm speculating about the idea that it might be Radigan who took it with him. And that it's probably her primal glintstone. And that's why she's so weakened. Because when it says that Radagon took her heart with him, I think it's actually about this ring that is also her primal glintstone. And which is why she's, now defenseless in some way. But that's just some speculation. But it's a really interesting detail that Renala usually got a ring on her on one hand, but it's missing. I can't tell why he left an Aghanim rune. But there's one detail that I was holding back a little bit. I don't know if other Lord Tubers would... maybe they would just... yeah, I don't know if anyone would make much of it. And I think it's kind of huge. Because I think I've found, I mean, in the end, it's just speculation, of course. But I think I've found the, do you know the Elden Ring pattern on the roads? There's some kind of old Elden Ring symbol with 4 rings. Like patterned a little bit like a clover, like that is found everywhere in the lands between on the roads. Because I think a year ago or so, I don't know how much, or half a year, or probably a year ago, I think I have discovered this old Elden Ring symbol in combination with the crescent moon somewhere. And I'm convinced that it's linked to Renna. Shit. pattern on the back of her robe. Interesting. Long live warriors, shamans. It's yeah. I'm still thinking about it. I think the whole ice versus fire theme. Maybe it's symbolic for America versus Redigan, or Renna versus Redigan. I'm done here, right? Okay, so I think I'm doing the fire giant, and then that's it for today. So it's not the most enjoyable fight. The warrior jaw. Let's go, Alexander. Oh, he's quite tanky. Oh. He's incredibly tanky. No! It feels like I'm doing definitely not enough damage. Oh, gotcha. Got him. Is he just... Okay. Is it time for bleed? And so, and I got one, yeah. No, actually not. It's not that the giant has more HP, because it depends on whether or not you're summoning someone inside the arena or outside of it. And because we're summoning Alexander inside of the arena, it doesn't affect the health bar and the stats from the boss. If you summon with someone outside the arena, then it scales like the way it would if you summon another tarnished, another player. But not when they are summoned inside the arena. Oh, Alexander. Bro, Alexander's doing his whirlwind attack. Feet. It's always feet, yeah. It has always been feet. Oh. Oh no! Oh, close enough. I can't remember the attack pattern. Okay, let's just go for the lag. What the fuck? He was focusing Alexander on me. Alexander's just tanking. Yeah, sure. Okay. I just can't get close. Oh, nice. Come on, get here. Uh-oh. No! The problem is that his the weak spots are his hands and arms, but I just don't get close. Now I'm fucked. Ah! Hello, Zed. Maybe I just don't get when you attack his arms or legs. I mean arms. Yeah, but bleed is kind of effective against him, though, so it definitely makes it easier. Yeah, sure. Not a fan of this fight, yeah. I mean, it's okay. I think it's not as bad as some people out there portray it, but they're definitely more enjoyable fights. It's a little bit more of a gimmick fight, or it's more cinematic in some way. To me, it's kind of insane how much Alexander is capable to tank. Massive poise break by Alexander. Yeah, he's making the difference. Maybe I should use Flame Protect Me. Maybe that's the secret. Yeah, and wait. This time I'm running away. I guess. Yeah, nope. Can you stop moving? I don't get the timing right. What kind of what range? I shouldn't summon Alexander probably and ride Torrent in this case. Oh shit. Oh. Bro, Alexander's the GOAT. Thank you, Alexander. He did it. He did it. Thoughts on this place? No, not really. I got an interesting idea today, but it's probably bullshit. Maybe it's not bullshit. I don't know. Hey, Mogino. Oh, I just had today the idea. I don't know. It's really just wild speculation. So what if Placidusax and the ancient dragons were forged in this vessel? It would be huge enough. But I don't know if it makes sense in regard to the timeline. It was just an idea, just because they would fit in, and just because I saw a post today. Which showed a photo of this vessel next to Placido Sax, and I was like, Hey, zombies. By the way, to me it looks like the colors of the sky are representing the colors of destined death, by the way. It's black, white, and red. It will explain why no other dragon is a Hydra. It will also fit with the sun theme. I think soul transposition, or the concept of souls, is probably half of the game, like most of it. Because it's never really... Oh, there's a smoldering butterfly. It's never really mentioned where they come from, right? The ancient dragons, I mean. I don't know. It was just an idea. Maybe I will flesh it out someday. Or maybe not. Okay, but we're done. Today already. Yeah, the golems? Oh, could be, I don't know. I think the Rao era, or the era that is more associated with green flowers, which looks everything in a more natural state, is probably before the Farmer Azula era, I would say. The Farmer Azula era looks more advanced and more revolving around the color of gold, and maybe I think there might have been an era before it. Maybe it's just an idea. I'm not sure. But what about this one? Isn't that a dragon in some way? I mean, it looks nothing like the dragons that we have. It looks like a dragon, yeah, but not like the dragons in the Elden Ring. I have to say I like the idea, but there's nothing to back it up. Okay. We're done with the mountaintops. And the next step would be consecrated snowfield. I think I will do consecrated snowfield, but leave out Farmer Zula and the Harlic tree, and then we will continue in the DLC. I should So now reach the soft cap. Okay, guys. That's already it for today. No, I don't think they know that we're Godwyn. I think that they think that we're just another tarnished.
You'll soil your hands soon enough with mortal sin.
Yeah, but that's it for today, guys. Next step is consecrated snowfield, but not today. Doop, 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 doop.
Hey!
Mortal sinful sin that is beyond man. Yeah, strange, no? Are we godless? Maybe. I mean, we are probably stripped of the grace of gold, aren't we? Maybe that's what she means. That Rani becomes a god is nowhere mentioned. I wouldn't agree with that though. But yeah, it's up to interpretation, I would say. Yeah, but guys, I'm sorry. It's over today for now, but we continue on another day. So, have a good night and continue whatever you're doing. And I wish you all good mood and so on. Bye bye.